Good afternoon. Today is Monday, April 25th, 2011. This is the General Assembly meeting of Johnson County Community College Student Senate. I now call the meeting to order at 12 p.m. noon. And with that said, I will take a adoption of last week's minutes, and after those are reviewed, we also take an adoption of this week's agenda, which will vary depending upon those executive board members on the agenda who are present and are not present. So I will now hear those motions on the floor.
Motion to adopt last week.
Second.
I hear two motions on the floor. The motion passes, and now for this week's agenda. More than likely, the point system will be taken off the agenda from this week since the parliamentarian is not here. And we'll continue on with everything with the parliamentarian, with the rest of the agenda afterwards. So I just wanted to be clear on that.
Motion to adopt this week's agenda.
Thank you. All right. We have no guests today with us, so we will move straight into new business. I will now yield over 10 minutes to the Secretary for the Student Club / Organization Funding Eligibility. Mr. Secretary.
Thank you. All right, you guys can look at the minutes. On there you can see the paragraph from Article 6 that we were talking about in the Constitution about student organizations and their qualifications. This was from the piece of the Constitution we were talking about last week, where we were trying to clarify a little more that paragraph and what the goals in that were. It's kind of hard to, maybe kind of hard to see on the paper right now. The very last section in there is highlighted, and that was the text that's been added to this paragraph to accomplish the goals that we were trying to achieve through this modification. So I'll give you guys a second to look over that, because this is what we'll be voting on or discussing if anybody has any issues with that. The main thing that we changed and added in here was to add it to where on a semesterly basis that someone from a student club and organization is to provide the manager of student life and leadership development with the primary and alternate contacts for a club, being that the person responsible and your alternate responsible points of contact for a particular club or organization may change each semester based on enrollment. So we added that in there to say that they need to maintain at least once a semester, come in and let us know who the contacts are, and the other part to showing that you have to maintain an active status in order to maintain funding. So those are the parts that are added in there. Does anybody have any questions about any of these changes before we put it to a vote?
I do have a comment, Mr. Secretary. This is also a variation of what we discussed before the winter break with the specifications for clubs and organizations as well. Just want to make that clear to the rest of the General Assembly.
The clarification as far as the interclub attendance requirement, that was addressed during the semester break and was sent out in an email from the advisor to all the other clubs.
Perfect. Now it just needs our stamp of approval.
Right. So if there are any, does anybody else have any other questions about this before we put it up to a vote?
Comment.
Sure.
I like the definition of active.
Well,
All right. All right, well then, all those in favor of adopting these new changes and amending the Constitution to the text currently on this document, raise your hand.
I'll ask you a question.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Appreciate it. As I said, we would skip over the parliamentarian today with the point system, and I'm actually going to skip over myself very briefly and move straight into the treasurer and vice president for 5 minutes for Campus Craze.
Okay, so May 4th, everyone. This is Campus Craze. If you're familiar with Campus Kickoff, this is basically its brother or sister, whatever you want to look at it. It's its mother. This is even bigger, because you know what this is? This is a good time to get recruits. So all those freshmen students who haven't really found their niche yet, to really draw them in, especially the student senate, because they've been here for a while, so they know the school a little bit better, and they might find interest in student senate. So what we need from you guys are to be able to work a table where we probably have the same sort of suggestion box type setup, as well as maybe like a little game. We're still trying to figure out on what we're gonna do for drawing in people, but we can kind of leave that up to you guys as well. And so this will go on outside in the Con Plaza in Fountain Square from 10 to 2 p.m. And it's just going to showcase everything that's good about JCCC.
Right here we have a sign-up sheet, and we really do encourage the new exec board to sign up and really devote a lot of their time to this, but also all the other senators to participate. The event is going to be from 10 to 2, but we're going to need setup from 9:30 to 10 a.m. and also tear down from 2 to 2:30. The fundraiser is going to take place from 11 to 1, so please sign up on the sheet and make sure it goes all the way around.
He kind of touched on this fundraiser thing. Us as a student senate exec board have decided to go about this fundraiser, and I'm going to set up the story, and then Amir's going to hit it home. So on Saturday, April 11th of this year, I was on my way home back from a campus visit at KU, and coming back on K10, I'm sure some of you guys have heard some of the debate about some things, but heading back on K10, me and my mom saw like this horrible accident on the westbound lanes when we were going east. There were probably a dozen state patrol officers just right there, and then 2 cars. There was a head-on collision, and they had to like cover up the cars and everything. And it was just a real horrific scene. And this boy, it was a grandma and grandpa. Their 2 grandchildren, a boy and a girl, and the boy didn't make it. He's 5 years old. His name is Kanan Shud, and his sister is going through some like hospital treatments and whatnot. And there was a lady that came in to Mindy's office asking of someone to do some sort of fundraiser and help this family out who lives in Eudora, and just kind of help lessen the burden of the price that I had to pay for the funeral, and then also the medical expenses that came along with it. The guy who happened to hit this family, he was under the influence of marijuana, and I think he had a few other things in his system, and just head on and probably just destroyed this whole family and this town's whole perspective in life. So I think by us doing something to kind of give back, even if it is a little ways down the road, would be something respectable and something we could all find some sort of passion in and help out the Shutt family. And Amir's going to tell you what we plan on doing as an exec board.
So this is the exec board and our advisor came up with this opportunity for us to help this family, and it's a really great idea, and I encourage all of you to tell your friends about it, to come out and support us. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a table, and the whole exec board is going to be sitting there from 11 to 1. And basically we're going to you can throw pies at our face. So if you have any grudges against us, or how we know that a lot of people at JUCO don't really like us, you can tell them this is their revenge. So we're going to have, what do you call it, plate? Or
Pie tins. Yeah.
pie tins. And we're going to have smaller ones for $1 and bigger ones for $2. And you can just come over anytime and throw it at our face. So.
And we're doing this because we'll have a lot of like people be able to participate in it, and we're also going to be able to take I guess just donations that people would just want to give and not have to throw pies at us. But I mean,
You don't have to throw a pie. If you don't
Yeah.
want to, if you want to donate money, you're
Is
more than
there a
welcome.
limit of how many times we can
No.
throw?
Absolutely
No,
not.
no.
but it's $1.
But I would probably say the American Medical Association has said for student senate presidents and vice presidents, secretaries, and treasurers, that it's probably best to only have 2 pies per person.
Oh, Corey, I'm gonna have 10.
But I don't want us to lose track of what we're doing this for. And I know it might be fun to say, oh, we're gonna throw pies at the exec board and yada yada yada. But honestly, we're doing this for Kanan and his family. So if there's any other ways we can kind of get some money to this family, let us know. So, any questions or comments besides the humility of throwing stuff out?
This was on Campus Craze Day, is that right?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Which also happens to be my grandmother's birthday, and she's going to take off to make the trip up here. She's going to donate a check to us, but also she's here because it's a birthday gift that she's been waiting for the past 20 years of my life. Throw a pie in my face. That's something that you can't, I guess, ever replace in a woman's heart, is throwing a pie in your grandson's face. So that shows how much she loves me.
Does she get a special pie that's like 5 times the size?
You know what? There's probably no telling. There's probably no telling with her. I'll probably get a pie and a belt, and there's just no telling.
You might get a VIP pass. I mean, she might get a VIP pass to stand right in front of him.
I mean, what?
We'll see what we can do.
Cooler, I gotta talk to you about some things. But I do want to appreciate and echo what the treasurer and the vice president both said. It's very important that we step up and help our community out in whatever way we possibly can. And I would like to think if anything had happened to any one of us, then we were the ones that had perished in that terrible accident, that had some of you been up here in our spots, that you do the very same thing for our family in a time of great grief and comfort. So this is what we do best, and we move on and we move forward.
And there are other ways you can donate besides just this event that we're holding. You can go to, I thought I had it on here. Is it on the obituary? One second. Well, there's a, sorry, I should have re-looked this over. There's a bank in Eudora. I'm blanking on the name, but you can also go there. And we had sent out an email to all of you, senators, kind of stating that. So if you guys want to even like forward that on, you can do that to the bank.
And we'll have the information present at the table as well.
Yeah, we'll have all that. And I look to contact the family here this week and see if we can work out.
Okay. So, with that said, I think we'll continue on with Denim Day. Tomorrow, the National Denim Day, let me give you a little bit of what we're going to do on what our role is going to be in this as a school and as a student senate, and also what the world's role is with this. Is anyone familiar with Denim Day at all? It's 2/31, obviously. So I guess that gives us somewhat of perspective. Well, oh, okay, 4. Denim Day started back in the advisors here, correct me if I'm wrong at all, Mindy. In the 90s in Italy.
Yes.
Yes, okay, perfect. Okay, then I'm right.
Do you want me to come with them?
Well, go on, no problem.
This is, the reason why I'm asking is because this is kind of a personal thing for me. This is an event that I've promoted for a while now. A young woman in Italy was being driven home by her driving instructor, and on the way home he raped her. She was wearing tight jeans, so his argument in court, and he successfully won using this argument, was that because her jeans were so tight, she had to help him take them off, therefore giving consent to having sex. He won, and as a protest, all of the women in the court showed up wearing jeans. And that's kind of how it started, and then it took off in California really big, and then it has just kind of spread across the United States. It's a Sexual Assault Awareness Day. It officially is held on Wednesday. April 27th every year. And it's just really encouraging people to wear denim to say that you are taking a stand against sexual assault. And then, go for it.
Okay, all right. So what we will do as far as our awareness here on campus is we will hold our very own Denim Day tomorrow instead of the National Denim Day on Wednesday. And we will have many of the volunteers who also attend school here from MOXA present down in the Commons area where we have our Senate tables at, and they will promote awareness to the rest of the campus about sexual rape and I'm going to draw on a blank here, sexual rape and assault, thank you, that's the word. I'm sorry, and sexual assault awareness to other members in the student body. We have promoted this in the CSI. There are signs hanging around there. There's also signs around the campus. Other things that we will do is that we will have pins available. We will have ribbons available, teal ribbons. What I would ask is that everyone here wear the color teal tomorrow if that's at all possible. I know it's a very difficult color for a lot of people to try to find or have. If not teal, Mindy, I believe that purple is also another color. And red, if I'm not mistaken. Is red on there?
I remember purple and teal.
I remember purple and
And
teal.
the pins, the ribbons we have are actually teal, and you can wear that if you don't have anything as well.
So I think that this is a wonderful opportunity for us to also promote that out. And you know what? A staggering fact that came out was that 1 in 4 women who are assaulted don't say anything, and they don't report the assault. And 1 in 6 men don't report the assault. And I know for a lot of you that's shocking that men wouldn't report it. You would think that'd be more prevalent in women, but it's all around. And I can guarantee you that probably some people in this room that you're sit next to has had a history of assault in some way, and you just don't know about it. So think about if you were sitting next to somebody in the student body. And probably 1 in 4 people in that entire crowd of 26,000 people had been sexually assaulted. I think that this is a cause and a fight in which we have long ignored. I think we've come some way with it within our own history in this country, but I think it's something that we need to further promote and to give awareness off on. I think tomorrow's that perfect day, and I certainly expect for all senators to step up their game tomorrow and definitely support this and promote awareness towards it. So.
Oh, we want anything?
Do you have anything else? I'm just making sure and see if I covered everything.
Well, I mean, another statistic is rape is the most underreported crime. And, you know, the statistic you're told is 1 in 4 women. And I remember going through college, looking at my suite where there were 9 of us, thinking at least 2 people in this room at some point in our lives will be raped or be sexually assaulted in some way, and come to find out that was true. So, and I know in one situation it was reported and the other it wasn't. So really, it is a silent crime, and the more awareness that we can bring and the more support that we can give to preventing it moving forward, I think that just really says a lot about who we are as people.
We'll appreciate it, and I think it also will create a boundary line to help some people come to grips and stop fighting some of these demons that they've probably been fighting for years. This is our chance to continue to make a difference in other people's lives. We could probably save somebody's life through these acts if we're going to promote and perform more. So I want that to be an awareness for you all, and now that we've touched on that, I thank the advisor for her information on that, and also commend her on her work in this effort. I really appreciate her for that. We'll now move into executive board announcements, and we'll just go straight down and call it. Mr. Secretary.
For tomorrow, for the Senate table from 10 to noon, I still do not have anybody to work the table. So if anybody is available to work tomorrow, anytime during the time between 10 and noon, please see me after this. PR, that's what we are doing for tomorrow anyway, from noon to 1 is working that table, so we're all on the schedule for that. Also, if you get somebody from 1 to 2, that would be great as well. And that's all I have.
We do have the Senate Town Hall meeting on this Wednesday. Jay Glatz will be attending to talk about some of the different options that we can look at for different food options in the cafeteria and also in Down Under. I highly promote this out to everybody in the Senate. If you can be there from 12 to noon, from noon to 1 on Wednesday, I would greatly appreciate that, and it's expected that you are there as well. That's for the town hall this Wednesday. Also, Campus Craze is next Wednesday. We have talked about that. And we do need senators again, echoing what the secretary said, to work the Senate table from 10 a.m. to noon tomorrow. If you have any information on that, whether you can work or not, please forward that to the secretary. I still need at least 2 people to go on this field trip this Saturday down to the slave ruins and also to Old Quindaro, Kansas City, if at all possible. It's very important that we have somebody from the Senate who is available to go to that. They will be here and meet at the school at 9, and they will be back before 12. I can't stress how important this is, and I can't stress how much it is very important to have somebody from at least the executive board or also from the Senate there present. So I also, this is a little bit of a note to those new executive board members to try to be there as well. And I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but I think that it's important for you to go. So with that said, I will now pass it over to the Vice President.
I don't have a whole lot besides the like Campus Craze stuff. But aside from that, we're still going to try and get a little like shindig together for all Johnson County Community College students the Monday following finals, so we won't have any schooling anymore. It'll be at Power Play. Just a reminder, so you guys that are in like these big student groups like International Club and other clubs like Phi Theta Kappa, you can spread that out and let people know that they can spend it'll be $14 or $20 depending on like different packages that they have, and it's just a real good deal and good time to meet people and play volleyball and do all these different like arcade games and whatnot. But that'll be from 5 to close, and then volleyball will be at 6 o'clock. So prepare for that. It'll be a good time also to kind of have student senate together and kind of have some fun before we all go our separate ways or come back. Apart from that, Inter Club went well, and that's all I have.
Okay. First, I want to congratulate Model UN on their trip to New York and representing New Zealand. What did you guys get?
Outstanding delegation award.
Congratulations.
Which one?
Outstanding delegation.
The highest you can get.
They represented Johnson County Community College among many schools that came from out of the country, right?
Yeah,
So
all over the world.
it's a great thing that you guys did for us. Moving on from that, the budget committee, we're pitching out new ideas to better the community, not the community, the committee, and we need to meet, and the committee, and we need to meet this week. We have to, and we're going to determine how we can enact them and get started on it. So the last thing I have is that I just wanted to tell everybody, when I was around 8 years old in 1999, my family and I went through an earthquake in Turkey, and it was a 7.4 magnitude, and we were up in an apartment on the 3rd floor, and it was shaking a lot, but thank God, we made it downstairs. Unfortunately, many buildings collapsed around it, and when we were getting out of there, we had to get in the car. Many people, were dead on the street. It was very devastating. It was a very, very tragic event, and we luckily made it out after about a week living on the streets. And the main thing that Turkey needed at that moment was foreign aid, just for emergency relief and to help those people at that moment. And later on, they needed funds to help rebuild and community service. So that really relates with what Japan's been suffering lately. They had the huge earthquake and the tsunamis, and that's the exact same thing that Turkey went through, and it was very devastating. So I really wanted to thank everybody. My goal was to raise around $300, and we made $346.25 to send over for emergency relief funds. I want to thank everybody that helped out with making the food and helping at the table. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mindy?
I just have 2 thank yous. One, I'd like to thank everybody who has been helping out with the Senate tabling. I apologize, I meant to type up the results and things just got away from me for all the stuff that came in on Friday. So we should have those out to you guys by email, hopefully tomorrow. And then I just want to thank you guys for coming out and helping with that. And then also for everybody who stepped in and helped Amir get his fundraiser done. Amir, you had a tremendous idea, and I really thank you for stepping up and taking the initiative with this. But I want to thank everyone else, the people who went to Amir's house and actually helped him cook, and then everyone who stood there and helped him serve. I mean, it's not a ton of money, but every little bit counts. So it's wonderful that you guys have stepped up and that we can do some good for the people who are experiencing devastation right now. Thank you guys.
We'll now move into open forum. Alicia.
Okay, I sent out an email this last Friday. I mentioned last week that I was trying to find out how many people could go up to Harvesters on May 5th, and I have yet to hear anybody respond. So, if, does anybody know off the top of their heads if that day's free or?
From what has been discussed from most of the executive board, at least most of us will be able to attend that with you. And so I think that's about all five of us pretty much. I'm not sure. Jeremy, so maybe four of us. Jeremy's not sure when he gets his final word to let you know about that.
There are two separate times, right?
Yeah, there was, the first shift is from 4 to 6, and the second one is from 6 to 8. So, and it's up at Harvesters in Kansas City, Missouri, so.
If people need a ride, I can stop by JUCO and we can carnival there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be more than happy to do that. Bring 10 cents for gas.
Yeah, if I can know by this afternoon.
Eric?
I would like to extend an invitation this Friday from International Club. We'll be having potluck dinner dance party, and we will have lots of food from different countries. If you want to test some of my cookings, be there. I'll have rice and beans. It's my secret recipe, trust me. And then it will start from 6 all the way to 11:45 or 12. So we'll have the food from SCOM 319 upstairs in the game room. And then we'll have DJ, music, dancing, and all that good stuff. So please stop by anytime. If you're hungry and you don't have money, sure.
I'm waiting on you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Okay. I happened to go to the potluck last
year, yeah.
semester, and I don't really come from an international background. I've lived here in Kansas and Overland Park on the next my whole life, and it was really neat to get to meet a lot of the different international areas that are represented here on campus through our students, and to try all the different types of food and then dance and whatnot, and meet also other American students who have embraced the international community. And it was just a real neat experience, and I came out of it with a lot of new friends and a lot of different ideas, and I was very sweaty after dancing, in case people want to know.
Y'all can't dance very well, so that says a lot.
But I would ask you if you guys are going to be here on Friday to really go to it. And it's a blast. I know a few of us that are going out to Salina this weekend for academic excellence. We're not going to be able to make it, but we really wish we could.
We'll be there with the spirit.
You'll miss the food.
Well, around the same time that you are having the potluck, we will be at karaoke. As part of academic excellence, it has been said that I will do a Madonna rendition. I'm sure John will do Backstreet Boys. Amir will sing. And Jeremy's not going. Gosh darn it. I was going to say he was going to do Firework from Katy Perry, but he'll have to do that for us personally for the Senate. So we'll talk. But I do extend that same sentiment from the Vice President and out to everyone as well.
I have something for open forum.
Please.
Starting next week, next week, beginning of May, the Veterans Club is gonna start doing a drive to collect some household goods, bedding, sheets, all different sizes, dishes, if you have any kind of dishes, plates, forks, all that kind of stuff, household goods. What they're doing a project called Move On, Move Up. Essentially what it is there are these homeless veterans that the VA has worked to deal with, where there's a program for them to be rehabilitated and put back into society. So one of the things that they have to do is they have to go through whatever the counseling requirements may be, or job stuff to show that they're working and following the program. If they follow the program, the VA provides their housing, pays the rent, and does all that. But these people don't, again, they don't have any kind of dishes, they have no beds, they don't have any furniture, nothing to sit on, they just have a house somewhere, maybe, once it's given to them. So one of the things they're doing with the Veterans Club is trying to collect a lot of the furniture and household goods. The furniture drive will be a big thing, it'll be towards the end of the semester, and I'll talk more about that as details come out. But if you guys have any of that kind of stuff, any kind of cleaning supplies or bedding, sheets, dishes, things like that you want to get rid of or throw away or something like that, let me know, and I will help you get rid of those and put them to good use.
Perfect. So, JC.
Does anyone have any ideas for campus trays on how we can draw students in? Eric?
We can have some of the games from the interclub. Yeah.
Moment on it.
Yeah.
I think the pie in the face is going to draw a lot of people in too.
Well, we might be a little separate.
Yeah.
We'll be pretty close.
We're going to be right next to each other, right?
He said he was close, but he didn't specify how close.
So there might be a little bit of distance. So, we'll see if we can get some of those games going. And if there anyone else has any other ideas, feed them into the CSI.
All right. Well,
What about our? Sorry.
no, it's all right.
What about our last meeting? You want to tell me where it's at?
Yeah, I wanted to actually take care of that after we discuss at the new executive board.
Okay.
Which, by the way, that's another announcement. New executive board will begin the transition period this week with us old ones, or soon to be old ones. We will be meeting on Wednesday for our first joint meeting together since the elections. So Gina, Eric, and Hector will be meeting with Amir, and Jeremy and myself Wednesday at noon, and I just want to give a heads up on that. And everybody know that your government is still working at its best to move forward. I'm sorry, not Wednesday at noon. We'll be meeting as soon as we decide a different day on that, so. My goodness. Busy, busy, busy. So we will give them the new dates on that, but I want everybody to be sure to know that they're not getting lazy, just waiting on us to get out of here, so. That said, if there's nothing else, I'll take an adjournment to the meeting.
Motion adjourned.
Second? Thank you.